Okay, so in this video, I told all my friends to give me a painting scheme for one of my models, and I have to follow that painting scheme no matter what. And this is the result. Let me see.
That's the one you were talking about, man?
Yeah, that's the one. Can you not zoom out? Why is the image so big? What the fuck?
Oh, there we go.
That's the one that I want you to paint. I can give you another
I
image.
don't know what it is.
It's called a bomb squig.
A bomb squig, okay. Well, seeing as it's a bomb, I feel like it should be silver to commemorate the petrol bombs during the Troubles.
What part do you want it to be silver?
Yes. Um, the teeth.
Silver teeth. We're gonna
Actually,
oh my god.
the teeth should be yellow. The teeth should be yellow and orange.
Yellowed.
And the skin.
Okay, you want the teeth to be yellowed. Like, fuck.
Teeth to be yellowed, eyes to be orange.
Okay.
Skin to be silver.
Skin
or gray, whatever you have.
I have silvers. Yes, I do have silvers. Literally just go
and
crazy.
And the modifications to be...
Like the bomb. The things that are on him are bombs.
The bombs on the side. Okay, they should be green.
Green.
And the strap around them should be orange.
Orange stripe.
No, okay, hold on. Green and what color goes well with green? Well, Roy G. Biv would go with yellow, but we already have yellow.
Green is
so
actually
blue.
It's actually red. It's actually red. Green is a
Oh, red. Okay, let's go with red then.
You want the strap around the bombs to be red, okay. I have a different angled image that I can send you as well, at like a different angle.
That would be great, yeah.
Just hold on a second. These image I took it out of
Please send me an image of that.
I took it out of resolution way too fucking big.
What camera did you take this with?
With my phone camera.
Fucking James Webb Space Telescope. Okay. So I would like the little shoots off his back, his antennae, if you will.
That's the antenna.
Or exhaust pipes. I would like those to be like a dark gray. Like a silver, but like faded into a dark gray. If you can do that, I don't know how airbrushing works.
I'm not using an airbrush. Do you know how small this thing is? I'm not using an airbrush.
No. And then what else is there to do? The base, the feet. Okay, the feet.
The feet are the same color because they're still silver, that part of the body. But what do you want?
Okay.
What do you want the base to
could you give him some shoes?
Give him some shoes.
Give him some shoes and a nice little buckle for it.
Shoes? What do you want me to do? What?
Is there anything else?
I mean, the base itself, what thing that he's standing on, but
this should be like tarmac gray.
Tarmac gray. Just make it okay. I get it. Yeah. There's also. Did you know that he also has a mine strapped to the strapped to his underside? That's the thing that's under him.
Oh, I see. Okay. The mine should be green. Yes.
I'll make it a darker green if you want.
Green and like faded into white.
Faded into white.
Yeah, dark green faded into light green. Dark green faded into light green.
Right. Okay, hello. Alright, you heard the man. It's time to get started. He wanted to give the guy some shoes first, so before that we need to get him off his base. I heard that if you put a super glued mini, which this is, into a freezer for a while, you could just snap them off their base. I tried that, didn't work. So instead, we're just gonna go with some clippers and try to nip him off his base. Making sure that we don't remove his foot, because we're gonna need that for when the sculpting part of this begins. Alright, now he's off his base. We can put that to one side. Okay, now the next step is to get out some milliput to sculpt on his shoes. Now this is actually my first ever time working with milliput, so I have really no clue what I'm doing here. And then we take out both of the milliput sausages and cut them in equal sizes and then mix them together. We knead them together until they're one color and there's no streaks. We make it small, and I also remove my gloves because working with milliput with gloves just kind of didn't make sense. Make sure our fingers are wet as well as we attach the milliput disc to his foot to try and mold a shoe shape on. I've also got myself a set of small sculpting tools to try and make it look like anything. I poke and prod at the milliput to make it into a vague shoe shape. I also add in some wear and tear onto his shoes, because this guy definitely doesn't take care of them. He's running a Mach 5 on a road, so I think they're like burning off of him. They're like degrading as he runs. That was my like initial idea going into this, is that his shoes are just being destroyed as he runs down this road. Right, next thing we're doing is putting on the other milliput shoe, and this one's a bit harder as his leg is actually attached to his, well, not attached to his body, but it's next to his body, so it's gonna make it really hard to sculpt any detail on. But just like before, we just poke and prod at the milliput, we form it into a vague shoe shape again. Needless to say, the word vague is doing some heavy lifting right now. Once we got that into a shape that we're okay with, we now put in some more damage. We use the tools to rough it up to give it some texture that we could actually paint on later and not just be a smooth clump. We also use a paper towel to dab off some of the excess moisture so this can dry faster. Now that we have the guy, now we have the shoes finished, we need to make sure he dries. So we're gonna use some blue tack and attach him upside down to an upside down shot glass so that he can dry without the shoes being disturbed. The next thing we need to do is the base, and this little plastic bit that's attached to it is in the way, so we're gonna remove it to make sure we can get like a flat ground. And yep, that just went everywhere. Not like, you know, it's not like I wanted that back or anything. Now what we have left is this plastic nub that is going to make painting on the scene quite difficult. It's not going to make any sense if I do. I tried sanding it at first, but that didn't really do anything except remove the primer that was on top. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to take that milliput, the excess milliput that we made, because we made way too much of it, and we're going to flatten it and add onto the base to create a flat or rough-ish shape to the base to make it a more realistic tarmac base for it. So we just attach a few thin pieces of milliput onto it to make it more even in shape. We used the rough side of the tool here to create some rough shapes, really, to make some terrain, to make some texture for us to paint onto later. In the end, I did kind of just smooth it flat though, and used the hobby knife and the sharp ends of tools to gouge in better detail. In case of our little car bomb squig not being able to be stuck onto the base, we're going to create a little mount for him out of milliput. So we take some small balls of milliput, we stick the milliput balls together into a vague L shape so that it could be mounted on later. Now with this mounting device, we didn't need it in the end, so this is kind of just pointless. Alright, now it is the end of day 1. We need to wait about 3 to 4 hours, at best overnight, for the milliput to fully cure and dry. Alright, so next in we have the milliput dried and primed, ready to be painted. The first thing we're going to do is paint the base, and we're going to start off with some black. We're going to give it an all-over coat of black, and then wait for that to dry. Then afterwards we take some white, combine with our black to make gray, and then we dry brush it over our black to accentuate some of the detail that we carved into it when it was dry. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add some masking tape, make sure there's a little gap in between, create our road stripes. And here I forgot to put in another stripe in the middle to separate the lines, so we're just gonna put some black over it and ignore it. You know, it's gonna be fine, just put some black over it. We cut out two small lines and put them in the middle to create some separation, and we brush over some white. After we wait for the paint to dry, we're going to take some super glue and glue him down to the base. Now you can see how the milliput wasn't fully primed, there's a bit of the milliput showing through, but what little primer is on it should be enough for it to for the paint to stick on. Right, so with our model stuck down to the base, we are ready to start actually painting him. And the first color we're going to put down is some silver all over his body. Now once we've got that on, we're gonna put some brown on the shoes, but later on I found this looked a bit unfortunate to say the least, so I just repainted it with black and called it a day. We're gonna paint all of the grenades in his mouth and the stick bombs on his side in a dark green. Alright, we're also gonna paint the mine that's on his back. Now, Michael wanted this to be dark green faded into light green, which I didn't really understand what he meant by that. But I'm just gonna wet blend in a lighter green instead. I hope that works. And you could see that I added a bit too much water and it's way too liquidy, so I need to dab off the paint. Now we actually get a proper coat of paint on the mine. We're gonna put on some more dark green and then we're gonna dry our brush and then blend those two colors together. Maybe if the camera wasn't focused you'd be able to see that. The effect isn't too noticeable, so and you can't really see it since it's not the most visible part of the model, so this was kind of pointless. Here we're retouching the model where we accidentally touched it with the greens and putting back the silver. Now we're gonna paint the yellowed teeth. We're gonna start off with an off-white cream color and painting all the teeth with it. You start off by adding a little bit of yellow to your off-white and then painting that onto your teeth, but not the entire way. And then in the next layer you add in a little bit more yellow, but then painting even less with that until you reach the tip of the teeth. Now, I actually did this incorrectly. I should have done this the opposite way around, and I should have had the tips be white and the bases be yellow. But it'll be fine. We're also painting the eyes orange, and then with a small detail brush, we had a dot of orange into the middle of the eyes to give it a glow effect. Next, we're adding in some brown and red to create a brownish red tone that we're painting over all the straps of the body and the bombs. Now this step takes the most time, as the straps, he has a lot of them around his entire body and they're a bit hard to get to at times. We're painting the casing, the metal part of the antenna, in a gunmetal silver instead of a proper silver. The reason I didn't paint the entire model with this gunmetal silver is because I'm running out of it and I need to buy more. So I'd like to use less of it. And then we're painting the thin part of the antenna with gray. Next step, we are taking the off-white cream color that we have and we're painting it onto the fuses of all the bombs. We also want to bring out some of the detail in the shoe. So we're taking some gray and then dry brushing it over the shoe to show the pop marks, the scratches, and the tears in it. Here I put a bit too much gray on my brush and I went over it again with black. We're going to put in some Nuln Oil over the metallic parts to show some detail in his folds and in his scratches and in his scars. Next thing we're doing is taking some Agrax Earth Shade and brushing that over his teeth to stain them with a further brown. And our next step here is to fix the base up a little bit where we messed up, paint the black over the bit of silver that accidentally got onto the base. And also to paint the rim of the base black. And there we have it. That is that paint job completed. To be honest, I actually really like how this thing turned out. This is my first time working with Milliput, which made the shoes look, you know, a bit less like shoes and more like molten tarmac stuck to his feet. But it was actually quite fun, and I'll definitely be using Milliput next time. And since it's finished, we now need to show the finished product to our recipient, if you will. This is going to be his reaction to it.
Hey yo, you got the Air Force One.
They look like fucking ass, the shoes. But they look like the...
You got the 1904 Jordans.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's brilliant. Good times. That's good, I like that.
Right, I want to know, what was your inspiration for picking me this model? What like for picking like the
Okay,
colors?
I'm just gonna send you a picture.
Of the inspiration?
Yes.
Alright, he's gonna send me the image of this inspiration.
You know what, this will do.
Is this your inspiration?
Yeah, hold up. I just need to screenshot this shit. That was my reference.
Oh. Car bomb.
Car bomb.
Wait, what did you think the mall was gonna be worse or better than it is currently? What were you expecting?
I wasn't expecting such a high level of detail on the
Detail? How's there a lot of? There's not a lot of details. Supposed to like the model.
I just mean like the teeth.
Oh, the teeth? Because it like
The
yellowed.
teeth are goofy as fuck.
He wanted them yellowed, and I gave him.
I did.
I also gave him
It was quite funny.
his orange eyes
Oh,
as
there's
well.
lots more. I love the shoes.
The
shoes are
shoes.
funny.
And I also made the road. I made the road like base, and I made sure he's on the left side.
I like the attention to detail.